Dear Toon, it has been 2 weeks since I left Europe and reached India. As a photojournalist, this country is an absolute feast for the eyes. The crowds, the colours, the people, everything is a photographer's delight. But for me, the most vibrant aspect of India is, of course, its faith and religion. Everything in this country seems to revolve around it. Driving up 8,000 feet above sea level in the Shivalik range in the Himalayas, I reached the famous Chaku temple, a prehistoric monument dedicated to the monkey god, Hanuman. In the epic story, Ramayana, the monkey god plays a stellar role in waging a battle against evil, winning universal reverence all over India for his courage and fortitude. The direct spin-off of this connection is the tremendous affection enjoyed by the rhesus monkeys in all parts of India. They are fed all sorts of raw and cooked food, monkey food and human food. The result is that these pampered animals find human life far more interesting than their jungle habitat. In fact, with their high level of intelligence and a habit to imitate everything that they see, I won't be surprised if soon the monkeys feel that they are also human. The wild monkeys at Chaku Temple are so used to human presence that they themselves approach humans with candour and confidence, most unlike any other wild animal, sometimes even to the extent of seeking out body contact. Local guides told me that over the years the amount of aggression and belligerence by wild monkeys has increased. The monkeys seem to have guessed that they can get what they want, and they have a clear strategy on how to get it. A little blackmail goes a long way to get them a promised meal. Yeah. I was really surprised by the huge number of monkeys. I always thought that this animal could only be found in the thick, evergreen tropical forests of India. But it seems that a large number of them have permanently shifted to the human habitat. No wonder that the customary fear or reservation that most wild animals have from bipeds has totally disappeared in these monkeys. In fact, in this one instance, I saw how humans seemed more on the defensive. A monkey went close to this middle-aged man and snatched his spectacles.
Okay.
Then the curious troop played around with the spectacles, passing it around and checking out this new toy. The spectacles were abandoned only when the monkeys had had their fill of the newfound plaything. And the man, well, he was driven to desperation, walking down the steep slope to somehow retrieve the precious specs, or else he would not have been able to read at all throughout his holiday. As luck would have it, I bumped into Sonia Ghosh, an animal activist, roaming around at Chaku Temple, studying her favourite subject, the rhesus monkeys. According to her, given a choice, the wild monkeys would any day be in the forests, but they have been forced to come into the human habitat because their own homes, the forests and jungles, have been encroached upon by humans. The trees that once gave the monkeys shelter and food have been cleared for making roads, agricultural fields, houses and factories. According to Sonia, since the relentless march of development by humans is responsible for monkey displacement, humans now must make sure that monkeys have a designated space for habitation and ample food. Sonia and her team campaign for a compassionate approach to monkeys.
It's a wildlife species. It's a protected animal. And you can't go to a panther and pet it on the back. Similarly, you can't throw a stone at a monkey or make faces at it. And without expecting some kind of retaliation.
However, in recent years, Sonia too has noticed that the monkeys in urban areas display uncharacteristic aggression that could lead to aggravated conflict with humans. Her passion for welfare puts her increasingly in the line of danger of facing the monkey ire. Back from Chaku Temple to Shimla, summer capital of the British since the Raj days, I saw the growing face of contemporary India. I was told that at one time these hills were cloaked with forests of pine, cedar and rhododendrons. But today, this 200-year-old city is almost a concrete jungle. The thick cover of pine has given way to towering multi-storied structures, hotels, offices and mega malls. Vikram, a local environmentalist who has been working in the hill state, explained to me the link between monkey displacement and vanishing forests.
बहुत बड़ा एक नेक्सस, एक जो गठबंधन है पॉलिटिशियंस और ठेकेदारों के बीच में है, जिसके तहत बहुत बड़ी तस्करी, टिम्बर की, लकड़ी की तस्करी होती रही है हिमाचल प्रदेश से बाहर के राज्यों से। तो हमारा ये मानना है कि उन ठेकेदारों से इन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर हैं उनके ज़रिए बहुत बड़ा भूमि का कटाव, जंगलों का कटाव हुआ है और वन का जो कवर है वो कम हुआ है।
I was curious to know how monkey and man cope with living close together, jostling for the same space and resources. I had no idea that what seemed to be a small curious story was actually a big development that is ruining the economy and life of people in this state.
लगभग 2301 पंचायतों के अंदर ये समस्या है और सालाना 325 से 375 करोड़ का नुकसान हिमाचल प्रदेश के अंदर किसानों को भुगतना पड़ रहा है इन जंगली जानवरों की समस्या के अंदर।
I was so shocked by these figures that I actually walked into the office of Chief Wildlife Warden. I met Vinay Tandon, a man who turned out to be a vigilant forester who was at grips with his subject. He confessed that the situation was messy, to say the least.
The monkey menace, as it's called, is partly attributed to the growing population of monkeys because of easy availability of food in the form of urban garbage, and this has made the monkeys kind of slightly more aggressive in urban areas where they try to snatch food or steal it from stalls and so on. In rural areas, the scenario is that troops of monkeys tend to raid fields, crops of farmers.
I was told that the man-monkey ratio has become totally skewed. I saw so many wild monkeys in the city that I began to feel that there has to be something seriously wrong somewhere. My suspicion was confirmed by Vikram.
1964 के अंदर 60,000 बंदर हिमाचल प्रदेश के अंदर थे और वन्य विभाग के आंकड़ों के अनुसार 2004 में इनकी आबादी बढ़कर 3,17,122 हो चुकी है, जो अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी समस्या है। हिमाचल प्रदेश की आबादी के अनुपात में हर 18 इंसानों के ऊपर एक बंदर आता है।
The constant jostling for space and food, the mutual fear and distress between man and monkey, is now making them hostile towards each other. What was once a friendly relationship is now turning sour. I could see that the humans are getting angry. So are the monkeys.
Dear Lena, I read your fascinating account of the rhesus monkeys. And in fact, since the time I've come from Belgium, I too have been captivated by their antics. Here in Delhi, I happened to visit an Indian friend who is a doctor at the All India Institute of Medical Science, popularly known as AIIMS. This is one of the premier hospitals of India, famed for its world-class medical services and staff. I was told that patients from all over Asia converge here for emergency medical interventions and support services. When I reached here, my attention was instantly drawn towards some overstaying guests who had captured the most snug and restful corners of the complex. They know this territory intimately and look like they would do anything to lay their claim over it. The emergency ward, the neuron services department, the electric hub and the deluxe ring, they all have been conquered, as if by another alien species that knows there is not much that humans can do. In a place that is supposed to be free from noise, free from germs and free from infection. I wondered how the presence of this troop was impacting the everyday patient care. I am attaching some of the pictures I shot on my first visit there. I am really hooked to the monkey story. Following the monkey trail, I reached the Tish Hazari courts in Delhi, a place where people converge to seek justice. But all I could see was monkey business in full swing. The lawyer chambers, the rooms for petitioners, the police guard rooms, and even the rooms for convicts, all were protected against rhesus monkeys. To me it looked like people had been put into wired cages while monkeys roamed around freely outside. I was told by the people there that when the booming monkey population made it impossible to run the courts, the Indian government came up with a new solution. Services of the black-faced langur were solicited. This agile and aggressive monkey species acts as a fearsome antidote, almost like a scarecrow that can shoo off the rhesus monkeys. The presence of the langur has an electrifying impact on the intruders, almost as if the police had landed at the lair of the thieves. Much as you would be surprised by this, the services of this security regiment are so valued by the courts that both the langur and the langur men are paid employees of the court. This team gets a monthly salary for their patrolling work. They reach the courts at sharp 9 and clear the premises of rhesus monkeys. Then through the day, they rush from one lawyer's chambers to another, responding to complaints of monkeys who are snatching files and stealing food. But as the courts close in the evening, the langur patrolling team withdraws. And I saw a dramatic spectacle. Hundreds of rhesus monkeys coming out from their hideouts on the roof, descending down like a huge medieval army, coming down the mountain to reclaim their kingdom. I checked old newspaper clippings, showing that the monkey issue had become a widespread problem. Aggressive gangs of monkeys raided colonies, bit children in schools, attacked sleeping people, and even stole food from people's fridges. In fact, the former mayor of Delhi died while fighting a monkey on his own balcony. The local people told me that the monkey presence had become so widespread and intrusive that the courts were forced to pass an order to the Delhi government to sort out the monkey business or face punitive action. The government swung in action. Many monkey catchers were employed by the government to capture hundreds of monkeys from the streets of Delhi. Pressing demands by animal activists later forced the government to release these monkeys. The government then decided that these monkeys were to be transported to different parts of rural India and released in forests, often near villages and farms, in the hope that they will relearn their wild instinct and leave the humans alone. I wondered how these scattered troops of traumatized monkeys must have gotten used to their new unfamiliar territory. I caught one such van filled with caged monkeys being released in the outskirts of Delhi. The local people here were opposed to accepting these unwanted immigrants. They told me their fears about these marauding monkey gangs, who they felt would create terror in their village.
Monkey come, attack and go, attack and go.
Dear Toon, I am surprised by the coincidence that you should be talking about this issue in your mail, just as I entered this new village in the Himalayas, which is facing exactly the same problem, facing the wrath of monkeys who have been sent here from Delhi. About 120 kilometres off Shimla, Noradhar lies at the edge of Singmore district, the traditional fruit basket of North India. Agriculture is the basic source of sustenance here. Rough terrain, unpredictable weather, lack of basic amenities. Yet the farmers have braved them all through decades to produce a basic crop of cereals for their own consumption. They also produce a variety of exotic fruits and vegetables, which they sell to bigger cities and earn extra money. Noradhar region is dotted with innumerable small hamlets, as many as 262 tiny clusters of 4 to 5 huts nestle in these hills. Each of these villages have their individual and unique dialect, but to me they all seem to be speaking the same language, the language of anger and despair. I witnessed an impromptu village gathering where large numbers of people had collected to register their protest. Farmers told me that instances of crop devastation by wild monkeys have rendered them helpless and overwhelmed. I met Amar Chand Chauhan, a farmer and a resident of Maithili village. His ancestors have all been farmers for ages. Amar said that he does not mind the back-breaking work involved in tilling his terraced farms in these steep hills. What he cannot get used to is sitting all day in